So, good evening. Good evening. We are back again. It is absolutely hammering down with snow in Wolverhampton. It's going to be hammering down for about the next 18 hours, apparently. So, I'm going to be snowed in. Not that I can go anywhere anyway, but it is what it is. But we are going to speak with my wobbly camera. I'm going to speak about, if I can just adjust properly, there we go. That's a bit better. We are going to speak about, excuse me, about the government loan that Arsenal Football Club have taken out, which has caused a bit of a stir. And don't really understand why it's caused a stir, if I'm honest. I've seen so many people sitting online saying how comes we're taking a £120 million short-term government loan when we have got a multi-billionaire owner. Well, let's be real here. Let's just have it right. These people are billionaires because they don't spend their own money. They borrow money. And that's how business works, really. Listen, it's a very easy argument and a very easy thing to do to blame the owner of a football club because they're all billionaires. I think pretty much every single owner of a Premier League football club right now, I'm sure, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure every single one of the 20 Premier League clubs has got a billionaire owner. Now, I remember back in the summer, Tottenham took £100 million government loan, which has to be paid back within a year. So this summer coming, they have to pay that back in full, 100 million quid. Now, they've got a billionaire owner, Joe Lewis, and he never goes to games. Nobody even knows what he looks like. Ask most Tottenham fans, they will very, very rarely see him at a Tottenham game. He actually lives on a yacht in the Caribbean. What a beautiful life. And nice if you can get to that level, I'm sure. But we've obviously gone a little bit higher and took 120 million quid out. And we're doing this until May. When I looked into some of the reports that have been put out about this, when I've looked into some of the facts, the figures, the finances, etc., I looked and it was pretty much there or thereabouts how much revenue we would have lost for match days and other little bits and bobs that have been added in as well. But we make over £1 million per match day. We've got the highest season tickets in the world, of which everybody I know that's got a season ticket at Arsenal has not paid the full fee for their season ticket. It's been reduced depending on where you are in the stadium and where your seat is. It's been reduced pretty much about 70 odd %. So, for example, if it's £1,000 for a ticket, you're only paying around 300 quid for that, albeit you can't go to games, but it still keeps your ticket. Now, once we were allowed back to games and fans were allowed in at a limited amount, 2,000 fans, anybody who had renewed their season ticket with that smaller fee was then instantly put into a ballot. The amount of people saying to me it was 175 million for Tottenham. Well, there you go. Even worse. Even worse. They got to find 175 million pounds by the summer to pay back, whilst paying a stadium and other costs, etc., their squad and stuff like that. But we'll come to that in a minute. But if you paid your fee and you paid your reduced cost for your season ticket, you were instantly put into a ballot to then get one of the potential seats for the 2,000 that were allowed to the stadium. But obviously you can't go to games again now. You've still paid out the 300 quid, let's say, if your ticket was £1,000, which is one of the cheaper tickets at the Emirates. Like, they go up to like 6, 7, 8 grand, some of these tickets at the Emirates Stadium. It depends where you sit. If you sit in club level, it's ridiculous money, like 3, 4, 5 grand a ticket, depending on where you are, the higher up you go, etc. But this is where I take a little issue with people just instantly pointing the finger at an owner. Like I said, Tottenham's owner don't go to games very often. Very, very rarely is he at a game. So for me, when people sit there and just get the stick out and start beating the owner, I look at it from both sides and then form my own opinion. Listen, this owner's dog shit. We know that. He's not the guy that I want at the football club. He's somebody that I would rather swap with an Abramovich or a Sheikh or someone of that ilk. That'd be somebody that I'd like to have at the football club. But don't get it twisted here. Yeah, at the same time, when you've got Joe Lewis not going to games, but then you've got somebody, for example, like Mike Ashley at Newcastle, who we play at the weekend, whose owner does go to games. Every time there's fans in the ground, Mike Ashley's there, swigging on his pints. Yeah, he is a Newcastle fan. He's a multi-billionaire. He goes every week, and Newcastle fans can't stand him. So for me personally, I don't care whether the owner goes to a game or not. What I do care is about whether we're successful on the football pitch and whether we're actually spending money in the right areas on the right players and not overpaying for crap. Whether we're trying to challenge and whether we're trying to make ourselves better and better each year. And I think that we've spent a lot of money in the last 3 years. If you actually look at our gross spend, it's nearly £300 million in 3 years. That's relentless. That's actually relentless. Go and compare that to other teams all around Europe. Yeah, I guarantee there's only a handful of clubs that have spent more than 300 million gross. We've spent that. I think it was 290 million gross we've spent in 3 seasons in the summer. So for me personally, the fact the owner don't care, the fact the owner don't go to games, the fact that he ain't got a fucking clue about football, that for me, in terms of spending money, is not an issue. It becomes an issue later down the line with other things, i.e. sacking staff and putting people in place in positions of power at this football club, etc., etc. Now, obviously, some of these things are linked because we're employing people that are mismanaging our money when we're going to spend on players, etc., giving contracts out. We're trying to overhaul that. We've got rid of people out the club. Huss Farmi's gone. Raul Sanelli's gone. Mislintat walked anyway. We've got rid of a lot of people over the last 18 months to 2 years in the positions that needed changing. Do I think we're doing better with Edu? Probably not. I don't think we are. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Vinay, again, another one. Don't get it. And then obviously the manager, you know my thoughts on him. But in terms of this government loan, it's a short-term loan until May of 120 million quid. Now, I've looked at this and I've sat there all evening, all afternoon since this news broke, and I thought, like, why would they only take a loan until May? Like, it didn't really add up. And then I started doing a bit of digging. Then I realized, oh, hold up, the new tax year kicks in April. So maybe, just maybe, Arsenal decided, you know what, we have got money sat in the bank, which they have. Go and check their accounts from last summer or last April, whenever it was, when the new tax year kicks in. You can see all of Arsenal's accounts online. Just go on Arsenal website and you'll find them. So I just look at it and I think, well, maybe Arsenal have decided we've lost a lot of money. Our value as a football club has dropped nearly $200 million in 12 months. We've lost match day revenue galore. If you think how many home games we would have had from March last year when we first went into lockdown to now, that's a lot of money. Then obviously the fact that the revenue on match day at the shops and stuff like that, that probably counts as match day revenue, I suppose. I suppose the Arsenal store has probably took a hit, but I'd imagine that would count in match day revenue. But we have lost a lot of fucking money, and as a club, we are valued $200 million less than we were 12 months ago. That's worrying. That is alarm bells going off left, right, and centre, because how can you go from being £1 billion football club or $1 billion pounds? I've started a new currency, everybody. $1 billion business to an $800 million business. Just like that. You've lost 1/5 of your value in 12 months, which is just relentless. You know, Tottenham's value has gone up. You know, they've built a massive stadium. It was well over cost. It was well late. Their debt on that is £1 billion, apparently. I don't know the ins and outs of Tottenham. I'm sure if there is any Tottenham fans in the chat, they'll put me right if I'm wrong. They've then took a massive government loan. They did try and furlough their staff, and all the top gooners came out and said, oh, that's muggy. That's muggy. Well, we laid off 55 members of staff and then gave a contract to Willian. You know, gave contracts to other players, signed players for 45 million quid in the summer. So, you know, when people think, like, when people see this news about 55 redundancies, me personally, I looked at that and I was like, okay, cool. That's a little bit muggy in peak times. I get that. But if you were going to restructure your business anyway, that's standard procedure in any business. You know, it's not that just Stan Kroenke's greedy and wants to keep the money. So it's in any business, if you're going through a hardship in your business due to lack of money coming in or due to anything else along the way that could hinder your finances, you have to restructure your business. Now, we've done that, but because we're a massive global football business and a global football club and brand, people sit and go, oh, well, it's a bit unfair. The whole Gunnersaurus thing, even the fella, Yar Gunners Yar, who's fucking off at last, or it looks like it is. Apparently, he's isolating in Germany at the moment due to COVID regulations. He can't actually fly to Turkey until Saturday, apparently, or Friday or Saturday, I think it was. But he was even tweeting out about Gunnersaurus. Now, Arsenal Football Club is no different to any other business apart from the size of the business. You know, it's bigger than the average Joe's business on fucking the high street. So they're going to have restructured their businesses. We're restructuring our business. If 55 people had to be let go, then that's it. As harsh as it sounds, that's what's got to happen if you want to restructure your business. Now, apparently a lot of them members of staff were working at London Colney. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. But maybe we don't need so many staff working at London Colney. Maybe that was something that was coming anyway, but it just happened to land at the same time as a global pandemic. I don't know. In terms of this loan, I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute, 120 million quid, we're paying it back in 4 months, 5 months from now. Does this mean that we've got roughly that sort of money sat in a bank account and we want to keep it there for the tax year that we're on because it makes us look a little bit better as a business? I don't know. I'm not an accountant. I'm not privy to the accounts on Arsenal this year until they get released. Maybe there's something to do with the fact that we want to keep cash reserves up for this tax year that we're currently on until April. Then we pay the money back and then boom, we go. So maybe, just maybe, this money could be used. I don't know what it's going to be used for, but maybe, just maybe, it could be used to cover the operating costs of Arsenal Football Club and the money that we've lost. Maybe it pays people. Maybe it pays towards a wage bill. Maybe it pays towards signings. Maybe it pays towards the signings and the next payments of signings that were made last year or the year before. Gabriel, for example, you know, maybe it's going towards the next payment for him. Maybe it's going towards the next payment for Thomas Partey. Well, obviously it's not because we bought him outright. What am I talking about? But maybe, for example, Pablo Mari, that signing was roughly, what, 13 million quid? Well, maybe we're paying the next installment on that. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be used for. Could it be used to go out in the transfer window? Of course it can. But I don't really understand what is there, like why everyone's getting so aggy about it. Look, at the end of the day, Arsenal Football Club, as much as I get the ump with this football club, and as much as I don't like some of the stuff they do, and as much as I do not like the way we are on the football pitch, the way our fans act at times, the way our players are overrated, the way all you guys are saying Pepe as well. Exactly. It could be towards the next install. Some of this could go towards Pepe's deal. Maybe it is. I don't know. But as much as I get on this football club's case, I do not see this as a bad thing whatsoever. Where it will be a bad thing is if we don't go and sign any players this January, and then we come to the summer, pay the loan back, and then we don't sign any players in the summer. Because when we're getting 50 million quid in wages a year off of the wage bill this summer, we have to go out there and sign players because we've just saved ourselves 50 million quid roughly, there or thereabouts. It's between 45 and 50 million quid we're saving on wages by players leaving this football club in the summer by being out of contract. You know, we've seen Matt Macy leave. Mesut Ozil's leaving. Apparently, we're still going to cover his wages, of course. After that, he's gone. 6 months from now, he's done on our wage bill. Socrates, another one. Mustafi, another one. Matt Macy wouldn't have cost us a fortune, but he's gone to Hibs. You know, there's a few others along the way. Balogun's another one. You know, and I'm sure there'll be other players behind the scenes in the youth setup that we don't know about or haven't heard about that will be out of contract that might be on 4, 5, 6 grand a week. So when it all adds up, we're probably losing or saving off of our wage bill about 50 million quid in a year. That's mad. And if we don't go out and invest in the summer, that's then when this loan then becomes an issue for me. So for everyone to lose their shit now, I just think it's ridiculous. Like, I've seen so many people going aggy about it, and I'm just like, do you know how business works? You know, there's businesses out there, for example, I don't know, the local butcher, The local butcher can apply for a government loan. The local butcher can pay that loan back within 12 months, the same as Arsenal are going to do, or Tottenham are going to do. We're deciding to pay it back in May. You can pay it back within 12 months. So I just don't see why we as a football club, because we have a billionaire owner, are suddenly any different to Joe Bloggs on the high street. It's a business. As much as I fucking hate this football club being a business, it's a business. It's a business. It's Arsenal Football Club, yes. But if you don't run it as a viable and reputable business and actually live within your means, you're going bust real quick. Arsenal can obviously afford to pay this loan back. How they're going to do that, I don't know. Like I said, maybe we have got the money set in a bank account. Maybe they want to keep it there for this financial year that we're on. And then maybe as soon as the new financial year kicks in April, they pay the loan back, bish, bash, bosh. We've now got 50 million quid off the wage bill as well. We now go out shopping. It could potentially be something as simple as that. I don't know. It could be that we're struggling. Could be. We ain't going to know till their accounts come out. But it could be that we're struggling. We'll find out. Well, we ain't going to find out now. We ain't going to find out tomorrow or the next day or the next day. The only way we're going to find out if this football club is struggling is when it comes to the summer transfer window after we've paid this loan back. So I don't really understand why so many people are losing their shit. But like I've said before, it's very, very easy to just whack the owner and slap the owner and bash the owner because he's a billionaire. He's a billionaire because he don't spend his money. Most billionaires don't spend their money. You don't acquire the amount of assets that guy has got by dipping into your bank account and writing checks. You do it by funding it via bank loans, which are then payable over a certain amount of period. Like, I'll give you another example. The Emirates Stadium, that he's paid that off and refinanced the loan, so we owe him the money rather than the bank. And apparently it's going to work out a bit cheaper. But at the same time, when we moved to that Emirates Stadium, why didn't the current owners, and shareholders of the football club, why didn't they just go, yo, yeah, 470 million pound for the Emirates? Yeah, cool, we'll pay it off then. We'll just pay it. We don't want to do that. We took a bank loan from Barclays. Nobody was crying about that. That was over 25 years. He came in, brought into the club, brought more shares, and eventually owns the whole lot. He's then gone, yo, actually, I'll clear that debt with Barclays. So, no, I just, it's a very easy target. It's very, very naive just to go and blame an owner because Arsenal have done this or Arsenal haven't done that. At the end of the day, the owner's culpable for a lot of things at this football club. Going and getting a 120 million pound government loan, that ain't one of them. For me, anyway. It might be for you. I'm going to read some of your comments out in a second. It'd be mad if they drop 120 for Grealish. Bro, you never know. I don't know what they're spending the money on. It could, listen, we could be struggling. I don't know. We've lost a lot of fucking money, mate. A lot of money. And we've lost a lot of money off of our value as a football club. Maybe it's to keep our heads above the water whilst we've got a stupidly high wage bill with people like Mesut on $350 a week. I don't know. That hoodie, though. Come on. Big up the wifey. It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice little hoodie, bruv. I can't lie. Wifey did good. Wifey did very good. It can't be used for transfers. I believe that was mentioned. I haven't seen whether it can. To be honest, I make you right, probably. I don't think it's going to be used for transfers. There's probably some stipulation that it can't be used for transfers. I haven't personally seen or read that, but I'd imagine you're probably right, mate, to be honest. I don't think it is going to be used for transfers. I think it's going to be used for the operating costs of this football club and for the money that we need to pay out over the next 4 months, which is why it's going to be paid back in 4 months. Like I said, the new tax year kicks in April, so maybe that's conveniently why it's being paid back in May. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not an accountant, so I'm probably not the best guy to talk about, how much how much Arsenal got sat in their bank account right now, because I don't fucking know. I don't know. But if you go and have a look at their accounts before this tax year that we're on, they were caked. Keiko Bako, baby. They were loving life. So yeah, I don't know. Big up Brandon. 10 years plus of fraudulence and mediocrity has led to this. We've let all of our assets over the years go for minimal amounts and nothing paid for average players. Exactly. exactly, which is why I feel that we need to go down the route of promoting these children, these kids into the starting 11. And Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Balogun, all of these players, Guendouzi, they're the future assets of this football club. Why not? Why not put them in? You know, we know what Granit Xhaka can and can't do. He ain't a fucking asset. Let's be real. We're going to have lost a lot of money on Granit Xhaka the day he fucking leaves this football club. Hector Bellerin, we might make a bit of money on him. I doubt it with the amount of money we've paid him over the years. So if we got 25 million for Bellerin, he's probably earned that in wages over the last 8 years that he's been here. So we're going to kind of probably break even on Bellerin. And he came up through Barca and we got him for fuck all. So yeah, I just, it's a mad one, bro. But I don't get why so many people are fuming. Get Jez in for, yeah, exactly. Big up Jez. Where is Jez? I see him in my chat a minute ago. Exactly, it's pretty normal. Big up Marble Halls, big up Sergio. All the real ones are out today, baby. This is pretty good news. Good from Arsenal. Well, this is the thing. We don't know whether this is a bad thing or not. Because like I said, if we come to this January window, and I don't expect us to go out and do a lot of shopping this January, but if we come to the summer window, we pay this loan back and then we don't go out shopping after 50 million comes off the wage bill, then it's an issue. Because then for me, that looks like we're struggling. Because we've got 50 million off of the wages. We've paid the loan back and now we can't go and buy decent players. For me, that would show that we were in a bit of shit, hence why we took the loan. So I don't know, man. And listen, at the end of the day, nobody could help that this coronavirus turns up out of nowhere, could they? And we're not the only football club that are probably struggling right now. So, you know, we just got to touch wood and hope that everything's rosy. But for me, I don't see why people are losing their shit over us getting a loan. I don't get it. This is a sensible move. Arsenal are just protecting their assets by using money available from the government. Why use your own money when you can borrow at less than 1%? Makes sense to me. Exactly, Jez. A little bit of realism here. Come on, exactly. And you're spot on, mate. You're spot on. Listen, if Arsenal have got 120 million sat in a bank account, which I'd imagine they probably have, why would they use their own money? Because now, like, I'll give an example, right? If I had 25 grand sat in my account right now and I wanted to go and buy a car that's 25 grand, why am I taking that 25 grand out of my bank? Because I've now got nothing left in the bank. I'm going to finance that car over X amount of years. And in 2 years' time, if I decide I don't want that car anymore, go and chop it in for something else. I've still got my 25 grand in the bank. It's exactly the same. I guarantee Arsenal have got 100 million quid sat in a bank account. Guarantee it. And like Jez said, if the interest rate is less than 1%, it makes total sense to do it, rather than using your own money and leaving yourself pretty damn skint. Read that one already. Big up to you again. And I will reply to your DM at some point, mate. I've been mad busy, mad busy, but we'll sort something out definitely, bruv. This month, 100%, probably next week, yeah. Big up to Gunman in the building. Pop. Big up to you, my guy. Yeah, come on, man. There's 1,200 people watching live. Make sure you are slapping the likes right up. Let's get it done, baby. There's only 232 likes. That's a shambles, man. Come on. What's going on here? Let's get these likes pumped up. Great comment. The money won't be spent on incomings. Nobody complained when Kroenke did a refinancing. Exactly. And again, Kroenke decided to go and clear that loan off with Barclays because the interest rate was through the roof. In fact, the interest rate on the payments per year was mad, right? Because Tottenham Stadium has cost double what our stadium cost. Bear in mind, the interest and the payments are coming down every year because the more you pay off, it's on a sliding scale. So you'll start off with a lot of interest until the interest is all but paid pretty much. And then you start chipping in to the rest. Obviously, I think it worked out that we were paying, I think it was 12 million. I think it was 12 million in interest and 9 million a year on actual repayment. So we were actually paying more interest than we were repayment on that stadium every year. It was about 20 odd million pound a year. Yeah, but obviously that comes down over time. Yeah, Spurs Stadium, because they got it on a lower interest rate than we did the Emirates, even though their stadium cost double ours, their repayments are around the same as what we were paying for our stadium. That is fucking mad. That just goes to show the difference of when we built our stadium, where the interest rates were and the deal we done with Barclays. and where the interest rates are and the deal they've done with whoever they finance theirs with, they've got £1 billion over a 25-year mortgage, paying the same repayments as we were paying on a stadium that cost half the price. That is mad. Absolutely mad. Big up to my boy, Jonathan. I understand your point, but I have to admit the reaction to this is deeper than the loan. It shows clearly the fan base feel about the board and the owner. We need a clear plan for next season. Big up to you, my guy. Listen, I know that our fan base don't like this board and the owner. I don't like them, but I'm not just going to sit there and beat the owner up like for saying that's not an issue to me. Like I said, a lot of people just get gassed. Oh yeah, it's the owner. It's the owner. It's the owner. Well, the owner paid the debt off. Yeah, let's not forget that, which saves us money. Let's not forget that, because he ain't going to charge us an interest rate that the bank would. Let's say he charges us an interest. It's not going to be as high as Barclays were charging us, so it's saving the club money. Good move. Didn't see anyone patting him on the back though, did we? You know, and like I don't want him as the owner, but the way people go on about him as an owner is just ridiculous at times. It's so far from the truth. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. Like at the end of the day, like I said earlier in this stream, we've spent in the last 3 summers nearly 300 million gross spend. There's not many clubs in world football that have spent that much. Net spend in the last 3 years, only Man United have outspent us in world football. Nobody's patting the owner on the back for that, are they? So I don't know, man. I just winds me up at times, some of the stuff I see. It's like, oh, that goes wrong. Oh, let's blame the owner. Like the comments on Arsenal's tweet when they tweeted this out earlier was, oh, Stan's a billionaire. What's his fucking billions got to do with us? Seriously, what has his personal wealth got to do with Arsenal Football Club? You know, people are just so entitled at times. It's mad. It's actually mad. It's Messi to Arsenal. Edu said it. Boom, Messi. Could you imagine? Oh dear, we're probably playing at right fucking wingback, bruv. But yeah, it's just mad. I don't know what we're gonna do with the money, my guy. I don't know what we're gonna do. Like I said, maybe it's to cover the operating costs for the next 4 or 5 months. I don't know, mate. I genuinely don't know. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in their meetings when they've done all of this, but at the end of the day, I don't see it being spent on transfers. Somebody in the chat earlier said it probably can't be, and I'd probably go with that. It probably can't be used to go and sign a player. I'm not sure. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I don't see it being spent on transfers. Maybe it is to cover existing transfers that we've signed previously in previous years where the next payment's due and stuff like that. Maybe it is just to do that. But like Jez said, at the end of the day, if you've got 120 million sat in your bank as a football club and you can go and get a loan for 120 million with about a 1% interest rate, why are you spending your own money from your football club when you can go and get the loan and pay 1% interest? Why would you do that? You're not going to, are you? You're going to keep that money sat in your bank account and it'll be acquiring interest. So, yeah, man, I don't see it as a big issue, if I'm honest. I really don't, but it is what it is. Let's fly through some of these comments. These comments are going mad quick tonight as well. Let me grab these before they go. You can criticize Kroenke when it comes to hiring personnel. Exactly. 100% agree with you, bruv. But when it comes to finances, the guy knows what he's doing. I'd pretty much agree with that, if I'm honest. Like I said, and thank you for that, mate. Like I said, he's paid off a stadium debt to Barclays, which is going to save us money. That's clever business. You know, he's gone and got this loan at a cheap interest rate. Again, I don't know what it's going to be used for, but I'd say that's clever business. Yeah, you know, if he ain't going to use the money that's set in Arsenal's bank accounts and we can get it and pay next to nothing back, clever business. You ain't touching your money, and your money's making you money by getting interest every day. So clever business for me. I don't understand what the issue is. I really don't. Arteta gives me proper Wenger vibes when it comes to transfers. Tight-lipped, bog standards, incomings, and another puppet for the board. Couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. Talks in riddles as well. Talks in riddles. And thank you for that, mate. 120 million will be used to buy the Champions League trophy so that Willian can say that he won it. And Arteta will look like the next Jesus. Oh, dear. Bro, big up to you. I hope you're well, man. I know you had some mad tornadoes and shit the other day. So I hope you're well. I worded it wrong. I meant it's do you trust the board to use the money properly or just piss it away? Listen, the one thing I will say about this football club, as much as I can't stand a lot of shit they do at this club, the one thing you have to say is when it comes to loans and financing and stuff like that, not for on-field shit, but off the pitch shit, they're pretty clued up. Yeah, they know what they're doing. And listen, Stan Kroenke is not a billionaire through doing many bad deals, is he? Let's be honest here. Yeah, so I do kind of trust them to use this money properly. Like I said, I don't know where it's going, but they're not idiots. Yeah, then you don't become a billionaire by being a complete twat. So yeah, he's obviously a very smart businessman, hence why he's one of the richest people on the planet. So yeah, I would say I do trust him to have taken this loan for good reasons rather than just taking a loan and then come into the summer and we can't do anything. I think they know as a football club that we're in a little bit of dire straits. I think they know that, you know, we haven't got the income coming in. We do make more money on match day than any other club in world football. We haven't had a match day with a full stadium for nearly a year, you know, and, you know, then you've got a massively high wage bill, which is going to be hit with 50 million coming off of it in the summer. So I think maybe this is to tie us over till the summer. The wage bill kicks in with the new wage bill with 50 million coming off of it each year. And I think maybe that sets us up. This could be a masterstroke. It genuinely could. We'll see. We'll see. Big up, my boy. You've had more name changes, bruv, than Prince. It'll go to a new defensive line for the Rams. You know, funny, man. Big up to you, my guy. It cannot be used for transfers. There you go. Thank you for confirming it. I didn't know whether that was the case, mate, but somebody put it in earlier. The articles that I have read didn't say that it couldn't be used for transfers, but big up to you for sticking that in there, mate, because I would have thought that would have been the case. Can it be used to pay off existing debts for transfers we've already done, like Pepe, for example? The next payment on that, can it be used for that? Does anyone know? Like, I genuinely don't know. Does anyone know? Because if we've got an outstanding payment for Pepe, for example, of 20 million this January, maybe we've got to pay that on the 31st of January. Maybe we ain't got 20 million quid that we want to use out of our bank account. So we go and get a loan and that goes towards, and then we've got 100 million to spend on other bits. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It'd be interesting to see if we can use that. Big up to my boy Tasno in the building. Hope you're well, man. Hope you're good. Twitch went down for more than an hour. Bruv, it goes down every day. I don't get it, bruv. I don't get it. Let's do a couple more comments and I'm bouncing. Did you see West Ham sold Haller for 25 million? They're the front runners for Moussa Dembele. Bruv, I did see that. I did see that. They've got good money back for him because he's fucking useless, bruv. Trust the process. Well, this could be part of the process, couldn't it, my friend? It very well could. Let's do a few more. Would you sell Pepe? Nope. That geezer is a baller. You're smart. I'm not that smart, bruv, when it comes to finances, like and accounts and shit like that. But the one thing I will say is 120 million buys a nice yacht. That's not what I was going to say. But no, I just think, like, listen, he's a billionaire for a reason. He ain't stupid. We ain't just going to go and lump ourselves with 120 million that we've got to pay back in the summer for no fucking good reason, are we? Let's be real here. You know, because if we can't pay that money back, all of a sudden, we now owe the UK government 120 million pound. Come on. Seriously, people need to wake up. Edu and all of it, and all the special agents are licking their lips. It can't be used on transfers, bruv. Let's do some more. Let's do some more. A couple more and I'm going. I was actually dog shit at maths at school, mate. It's kind of mad. My maths is pretty decent right now, to be fair. But yeah, I was dog shit at maths at school, bruv. It was mental. Like, got an E in maths. And then I left school and did double glazing. And I was constantly adding up money because it was commission based. So I'm constantly adding up money as I'm earning it. Yeah, so my maths is shit hot now. But yeah, let's do a couple more. Here we go. Purely to increase our liquidity reserve. Say that when you've had a couple of fucking stellars, bruv. Makes sense in a stressed market. Cheap cash. Exactly. Well said. Same as Jez. It's a very cheap percentage rate that we're paying back on this loan. So I don't really understand why it's such an issue. And listen, if anyone's got hard money sat in their bank account right now, cash money in the building, and you want to go and buy something that you can finance instead, why are you going to spend your money? Keep that money in the bank. Go and finance it as long as you can afford the repayments. And as long as if it all goes tits, you've got the money in the bank to cover it anyway. What's the issue? I don't get it. It's when people take loans out when they can't afford the loans that's the issue. Big up to my boy Mike. Go and subscribe to their channel right now. And I'm going to do 2 more comments and I'm going. Is anyone online right now that we like, that we can go and send you to flood their chat? Should we have a look? Do smash the likes up on this video if you haven't already. Oh, look, I'm live. Who else is live? Is anyone live? Nobody's live. Nobody's live. Turkish is going live. Where's Turkish in the cut? Turkish, reveal yourself. Is he in my chat? Is Turkish in the chat? I don't know if he's in the chat. But yeah, Turkish is going to go live in a minute. About 10 minutes from now, it'll be live. So yeah, maybe Turkish. I don't think there is anyone else live that I can see that I'm subscribed to anyway. So yeah, I will be back again tomorrow. Make sure, yeah, Turkish is on in 12 minutes. Spam his chat and say, Lee Gunner sent you. So yeah, I will be back again tomorrow. And we will be doing a preview tomorrow night, 9 p.m, with a Newcastle fan. I haven't decided which one yet, but big up to everyone who gave me some suggestions earlier. I'm going to be having a little look after I've finished this and seeing which Newcastle fan we should have on, because you guys on Twitter threw 5 or 6 names at me. So yeah, man, it should be good. Big up to everybody who's watching. I do appreciate that. And like I said, smash the likes up before you leave. Make sure as well, very quickly, that you follow my YouTube channel, my Instagram. Fucking, I'm having a mare. I've only had 2 stellars, I promise. Make sure you follow my Instagram, Lee Gunner 82, and Lee Gunner 82. Go and check that out. I bid you all farewell. Laters, peeps. Laters. Stay safe, stay alert, and stay in fucking doors. Laters.